Y'all know that Jeep don't care. They're moving this car for Josh today. Then we're gonna move that big old thing today. And then we're gonna move that little thing out there today, that skid steer. Y'all just wait. Ride along with us. Show you what this Jeep does. It don't care. Next up. Pulling this thing. That Jeep don't care. Look at it. It don't care. I promise you it don't care. Don't hurt my feelings neither. Now we towing this big old thing 20 minutes down the road. Well, I can't show you. You see the headlights on by there. Now there you go. Pulling this thing 20 minutes to it from his ex-old lady's house to his house. So we're getting there though. Like I said, it's coming along pretty good for right now. What you think, Damien? Jeep don't care, does it? Tell them. Jeep don't care, does it? That's good. 40 mile an hour, we're cruising along just fine. 5 mile under the speed limit. Whew, I didn't get no video of it, but I had an Amazon truck, big delivery truck was stuck in a driveway and the back was on the ground. I pull up and the old guy's like, I said, hey, I said, you need help? He said, I got a tow truck on the way. I said, well, I can pull you out. He said, you think so? I got you. I got you. So I went through, got my logging chain out. There's traffic. You can still see the traffic right there going by. The traffic was freaking backed up both directions. So I got my old logging chain out, gave her a little tug. When I tugged, it was trying to pull out angle. I said, hold on, man, let me reposition this thing. I repositioned it. I ain't gonna lie, the old truck struggled a little bit with it. Gave her a little tug, bam! Yanked him out, unhooked it. Seen all the people smiling at me. Waved, brought her on to the house. Now I'm waiting on the cable people at my house to come out here. Cause yesterday I was digging me in their driveway out back and I turned around and hit my line. So I gotta wait on the freaking cable people to get here. I was hoping he didn't get here and leave before I got here. But, old Jeep, she's strong. Man, my life. Look, I run out of fuel in the freaking machine on the way to go get fuel. So now I gotta wait on all these cars to get past me because we're out of fuel in the road. So, oh well, waiting on Damien. Well, I've been slow this week, piddling on other stuff in the garage, so I got the sniffles. We're gonna fix this whole trailer up. This is for a company a buddy of mine works for. The welds have cracked on all this. So when they load the machine on off of it, the tongue just flexes. It's about to break the box off of it. So I'm gonna fix all that. I gotta go through and put new U-bolts and stuff on the axles because that axle over there fell off today. So he had to rig it up just to get it to me. So we're gonna repair all this. I'm gonna fix the springs on the back door. I'm gonna fix the back door, the support, fix the tail light. Support here broke, so I had to rip all that out. So I'm gonna repair a lot of that. See if we can get this thing right today. Y'all check that weld out.
Finished putting the air box on.
That guy must not have cared much that day. Look at that thing right there. It's on the other side. Look, got a crack right there. Look at that all the way around it. This thing right here is spotted up in there, but on this side it wasn't. I had to weld that one up. And I also went ahead and went up in there and welded a bead up through there because it was not welded. Also come over here. This thing right here was cracked coming down it. So I ended up going through and beating this up and welding it there, putting putting a little tack over there, welding the top of it up in there because it wasn't welded. That right there was cracked. Put a little tack on those around through there, a little bead, beat all that up. Then let's go through and this one right here, it was cracked all the way down, which I need to go back through and clean all of it up. I ain't knocked none of the flux off of it. I welded that one up over there. All the way the whole tongue on this thing was coming off. It was literally, which I need to look to make sure ain't none of the rest of these welds cracked up. Look right there. We're going to weld that one too while we at it. I done some welds over here on that and over here to help support it. Sorry if this camera's moving around. I'm on a creeper, so let me go. I'm gonna have to fix it. Like I'm gonna have to do that one too. So. All right, so I had this cable up on there. I went ahead and pulled this one tight, about 2 rounds, and then locked it down right there. Done the same right here, made sure my bolts are in the even spot on that. And this, I'm gonna pull this cable back loose because this cable right here has a twist in it now. So I'm gonna take it loose and reposition it. That one was already on here, so I didn't have to adjust it. But this one right here, I'm gonna take it loose to get it right. And get the twist out of it and then tighten it back up. All right, since I'm in here working on this trailer, I figured this might be a pretty good video for some people that don't understand how these rollers work when you put your new cables on and all that. So when you put these cables on, you need to loosen your spring up, and you need to spin. Your cable needs to come downwards. It don't have to come downwards, but they need to be where this cable comes in, and this one over here needs to come at the same direction, the same point, or otherwise your cables will never wind right. So you're going to start by getting your cables loose. First, you got to loosen this up. Be real careful. You got to loosen your springs up. We're going to take one side, we're going to center it to the other side. Once we center it to the other side, I'm going to lock these bolts down. Once I lock the bolts down, then I'm going to go through and I'm going to put my cable on here, and I'm going to wind it real slow till I get both cables wind completely tight. Once both cables are wind completely tight, then I'll come in here and I'll wrap this backwards. So we're going to wrap it forwards to wrap up, because there's a groove on there. See that groove? It follows that groove all the way around and it spirals down. And so what I'll do is when I wind it this way, I'll take this spring and I'll wind it back a couple rounds with the door closed. Then I'll lock it down, and that will take it and put me spring tension on both of them, and that'll get me right. So let me go ahead and get this centered up like I need it, and then we'll go from there. One other thing I learned is you got to grab these, you got to pull and stretch them in too, that way they don't bind up, because if you let them in their natural position, then it binds up really fast, because you need that space in between it, so when that thing goes to bind up or spring bind, that it won't touch so early. If it does early, then it'll mess it up. So I had to go through, and it was the pain in the butt part of it. I had to stretch it, wind it one round and stretch it over to get tension on it. So let me try it again. One other thing you gotta make sure of, you gotta make sure your roller, when it hits the last roll here, is in line on both sides. If it's not, you'll have to adjust it. See how this is? See, this cable was actually a little bound. I had to loosen it back up so I can move it over, because I realized that my shaft was off. So now I still got spring tension on this one. I'm gonna lock it back down. I'm gonna lock that down. We're gonna let the door down and then open it back up, and that should get us right. Man, that thing come down like butter. She worked really good. Like I said, I ain't no expert. I'm just trying to show you what makes sense to me. Put in layman's terms for y'all. So that thing opened up. A minute ago, I couldn't even open this door up. I mean, I had a heck of a time. And now here I am lifting it with one hand. Earlier, I had to power clean that thing to get it to go up. It was so freaking tight, but that works out really good. Killer. So I got the swing arm. I got the old stuff plugged right here on both sides. Got the new ones built, so this is how much longer it is. I shortened the front of the bike up, so we lost 3 inches out of the bike. This will allow me to put it back to where it used to be, but theoretically, really, the swing arm's going to be 3 inches longer, but our wheelbase will be the same. These are the original pieces. I lost about 2.9 pounds by redoing this a different way. So I got to get Nigel come in here. I got to V out this side, like I have this side, which is just run a little grinded out so you weld it. We'll get Nigel to TIG that all the way around it to make it strong and make it look good. But like I said, it's already welded. The inside piece is already welded, and then it's plug welded up, so it's cleaned up. Now I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna V that, get Nigel to weld it. Then I'm gonna take it to my buddy Dylan Wolf at Wolf's Powder Coating. I'm gonna get him to powder coat the whole thing black to make it match the bike. It'll look good. Playing with the stock Bull 125 today. Getting ready for the crawl. Break that 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. There you go. Nigel's done a killer job on welding this thing. Look at it. I got a piece of plate inside of it to help strengthen it. Capped off them holes. Went ahead and put a nice little bracket right here. I got to drill the holes for the nitrous bottle. Then I got this little guy right here. This is one of my original swing arms that I had cut off to make the extension for the one this arm was on. So what I figured out was I could just make these holes back, put my wheel on it. I can't slide it all the way forward, but I can make the bike almost what a stock wheelbase bike is, which should be really fun at 48 inches, making the power it makes. So that right there, I'm gonna use this arm to put on the bike to ride curves and mountains. And we got this arm for drag racing this year. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot cleaner. This thing's about 2.5 pounds lighter than what the other one was. By the time I added a little bit, I lost almost 3 pounds off of it. But by the time I added a little bit of length, 2.5 pounds lighter. So I'm gonna take it over, drop it off to get it powder coated. And blast all that off, take it all apart. It's gonna look good. And this sets me up at 54 inches here. This will take me about 58, 59 inches, which should be longer than the bike's ever been, but it should look pretty good up on there, I think.